Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Slayers by Shauna, and I am back with another video. This video, I'm going to be talking more in depth about the qualifications and the job responsibilities for being a assistant in the hair industry. Or in the beauty industry. Every job is different, as you know, and the qualifications or the requirements is different for each job. When somebody hears the word assistant, sometimes I've been in situations before where, you know, the actual hairstylist they just expected me to know just because I've been an assistant before, and that's not the case. So absolutely, you still want to have a resume. Every job that I've had, whether it's been in the beauty industry or outside of the beauty industry, it's a job nonetheless. So you always want to have a resume, and even if you haven't been an assistant before, you can still put down, you know, like responsibilities that you've had that may, you know, pertain to the job that you're wanting to do. So when it comes to job responsibilities, normally when a hairstylist is wanting you to become their assistant, they'll say, like, they'll put out an advertisement. Like, for instance, I answered to like a flyer saying, hey, assistant, like looking for an assistant or hiring for an assistant, and then they'll like list responsibilities like braiding, shampooing, you know, setting the client or things like that. And then I went to my job interview, if you will. Sometimes they'll want you to like show some work like on a mannequin. Like when I went for a braiding assistant, I just, because I've been in this field and I'm eager. So I brought my mannequin with me. She didn't tell me to bring my mannequin, but I brought my mannequin with me with a comb, and I had a mannequin stand. I didn't need it, but I had my mannequin stand, you know, ready, and you know, I just did a braid for her. She felt how sturdy my braids was, and then, you know, from there she wanted to move forward. And then, like, you know, she told me the next day to come. Then she showed me how to shampoo. I believe I had to shampoo her hair before I can even actually start training to shampoo her other clients, and then it just took off from there. So they'll pretty much have responsibilities that they actually want you to have for their assistant. So 9 times out of 10, shampooing is a big part of that, because stylists, they're wanting to get their clients out, in and out, because nobody wants to stay in a salon for that long. So whether it's a braiding assistant, an assistant in the hair industry, nails, whatever, they are going to give you responsibilities for that position. A lot of times as a hairstyling assistant, you are going to be shampooing for them, shampooing, washing hair. So shampooing and conditioning is one of the requirements. You have to know how to shampoo comfortably, not only for the stylist but for the client as well. I gained a lot of tips. Now that's a gem. That's a gem. Write that down, put that in your notes. Clients, once they get comfortable with you, once they know your personality, once you have made yourself known with the clients, they will start tipping you. I gained a lot of tips. At one point, I was like, I make a very good assistant, unfortunately, because I've done it for so long and I've been multiple people's assistant. But I'm good at being an assistant. I'm good at being a hairstylist too, but I'm good at being a quality assistant, if that makes sense, because I'm good at listening. I have great listening skills. I do the job that's being asked of me, and I do it efficiently. So I made a lot of good tips just by shampooing. So that's what I want. Even if you're a hairstylist and you got discouraged and you don't know which way to go, but you love this industry, be an assistant. You know, start off small. I know it is humbling yourself, but you got to start somewhere. And you got to work your way up, and sooner or later people will start trusting you. People are going to start recommending you. You know, you got to start somewhere. But I've made a lot of money. I've made a lot of tips from clients just by shampooing for a stylist. And I mastered shampooing for one stylist, and another stylist wanted me to shampoo for them. So you're not gonna stay at the shampoo bowl forever. Your hands aren't gonna be wrinkly forever, but it's a starting point. Shampooing in our industry is a foundation, because clean hair, clean scalp, it leads to a finishing touch. So it's very important, but you gotta, and even though it's small, you gotta start somewhere. So that's a major job requirement. Another job requirement for me was a lot of women got sew-ins, so I had to be a braiding assistant as well. And when you are a braiding assistant, you have to make sure that your timing is right and that your braids are very neat and sturdy. Like, you don't want to be pulling them from the scalp and making them uncomfortable or anything like that, but your timing should be between 30 to 40 minutes. Anything over that is too long. Their service, like, they start getting antsy in the chair. But so if that's something that you want to do, like, you know that you want to be a braid assistant, like you've been a braider before, that's something that you could do. That's a great side hustle right there. Like, you know, you've been a braider, but you really want to break through the, you know, beauty industry as being a licensed stylist. You could do that. That's a great side hustle, being somebody's braiding assistant, because a lot of seasoned hairstylists is getting away from that. You know, our wrists start to hurt and stuff like that. So that's a great way to, hey, I was a braider before, so now I can, you know, but you don't want to hurt your clients. You don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. And, you know, the hairstylists, they're going to get into all that when they're looking for an assistant. They're going to test you, like, on your braids, your skills and stuff like that to see if they want to move forward. A lot of times they're not looking for experienced stylists. They're looking for someone that is dedicated, faithful, and loyal. A lot of times they want assistants that are in beauty school or that is licensed, because we are professionals. We're in a professional industry. So we don't just want like a random, like, off the street or anything like that. We're looking for like professionals, because we're grooming professionals, if that makes sense. So because, like, we've been in their spot before, so now we can groom somebody to uplift them, and so they can continue to grow in this profession. Some salons that are looking for assistants will have you apply color. Even as I don't know if, see, when I was an assistant, I've always been licensed. So I don't know how that goes for students. Like, if you're in beauty school, I don't know, but you can always, like, ask, like, if, I don't know how that goes, but you can always ask, because it's a chemical. That's why I'm, like, so iffy about it. I know that you have to be licensed to handle chemicals, but some salons may require you to, like, apply color or, like, a chemical, like relaxer or a perm, things like that. But your job as an assistant is to make their job easier. So that's why they hired you. So you want to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's at all times. That's really the job responsibility, is to make sure that you are on your P's and Q's at all times, so that they don't have to come back and be like, hey, you missed this step. And especially if you've been there for, like, at this point, 6 months or a year, you know, and you want to continue being an assistant, and you're still getting the same, like, feedback, like, hey, like, I've already talked to you about this. Like, at that point, it's like, okay, you may need to find a different way to do that, or find something else. I mean, I don't know. But you want to be on your P's and Q's at all time, because the task that they're asking you to do is repetitive. You're doing the same thing every single day. Every time that you're working, you're doing the same thing. I mean, it's just like a job. it is a job. You're just working while trying to grow yourself. And it has benefits to it. It has benefits to it. Assisting is just humble grounds. And once you know, go through the training, how they teach you how to do stuff, you'll get the workflow, and then you can carry on for that. Another job qualification, sometimes, most of the times, assistants will have to answer the phones. And then, I don't know if that's training. Like, before I became an assistant, I kind of had some phone training myself because I used to work at a call center. So it was just like I kind of took that skill with me everywhere that I went. So it's kind of basic, like, you know, thank you for calling such and such. This is your name. And then, you know, proceed with how may I help you. And then, you know, if you have a question while you're on the phone, like with the client or potential client or whoever calls, then you just, you know, politely be like, oh, give me 1 second, and put them on mute, and then you can ask, you know, your hairstylist or your boss or whoever, and ask them like how to proceed with the question. And then if you don't know, then improvise. I improvise a lot. Some hairstylists may have like an actual script for you, but I mean, you can improvise. You can practice at home. You can practice with, you know, a loved one, your children, stuffed animal, your dog. You can practice with anybody on how you want to present yourself. But even on the phones, you still want to maintain that professionalism so they can, you know, they can feel that vibe, and you don't want money to walk away on the phone. So you want them, of course, you're trying to win them over on the phone. So you want to still portray that professionalism. Everything is pretty much standard, like folding towels. Some salons may have you, I've been at salons where I had to start a load of towels and capes and, like, you know, that whole cycle of laundry basically. And you just want to make sure everything is prepped and ready to go for the next day, so everything can just run smoothly. Your job is to make sure everything runs smoothly, and that could be a lot of weight on your back sometimes, because if something isn't running smoothly and you had nothing to do with it or no control over it, you might still get asked like, hey, why is this out of line? Like, why is this out of pocket? Maybe you just missed it, or maybe you had nothing to do with it. But sometimes you may get blamed for things that you had no control over, and that's okay. You can just, you know, explain, hey, I didn't even know that happened. My bad, my fault. You know, next time, put that on your list. Like, I'll make sure that doesn't happen again. But your job is to make sure everything runs smoothly. And at the same time, you're learning the pace of a salon. You're learning the pace of, you know, clientele. You're learning people. That's all I have for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.